Hey guys, it's Braylee. Have you ever met a super fan before? Like someone you know who is such a huge fan of a team that they know every stat, every player, the history, the coaches, everything about a team. Super fans aren't really fans at all. They're more than that. They're followers. Nothing can persuade them against their team because they are sold out. And listen, being a fan is easy. If your team isn't doing well, just put on another team's jersey and you're all set. Being a follower, however, is a lot harder because you have to be there for the better or for worse. We're usually very loyal to the people we follow, but there is a fine line between being a fan and a follower. So are you a fan or a follower of Jesus? Let's look at the difference between being just a fan of Jesus and truly following him with your whole entire life. In John chapter 6, verse 64 through 66, we see Jesus calling out some of his disciples as fake followers. These people revealed themselves as casual fans of Jesus because of how they left him. But some of you do not believe me, for Jesus knew from the beginning which ones didn't believe, and he knew who would betray him. Then he said, "That is why I said that people can't come to me unless the Father gives them to me." At this point, many of his disciples turned away and deserted him. Listen, when the going gets tough and living by faith becomes hard, a fan can simply walk away because they're not as invested as a real follower is. But Matthew chapter 16, verse 24 through 25 tells us more about this. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "If any of you wants to be my follower, you must give up your own way. Take up your cross and follow me. If you try to hang on to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for my sake, you will save it." There is a massive difference between being a fan of Jesus and a follower of Jesus. And he sets the bar by saying, "Lose your life and find mine." A fan will leave when it's difficult, but a follower will never leave, even in pain. You may need to look at your life and realize that it's time to stop casually following Jesus and give him your whole life. When you do this, there is a peace and a joy that you will experience that is beyond our understanding. Even though it won't always be easy, when we graduate from being a casual fan to being a follower, we experience all that Jesus has for us. And the culture changer is that God is looking for followers, not fans. What would your life look like if you decided to follow Jesus with everything you have? Galatians chapter 2, verse 20 says, "My old self has been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. So I live in this earthly body by trusting in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me." A follower of Jesus separates themselves by saying, "I'll trade my life for yours." And the second half of that verse tells us how to follow Jesus. It says, "I live in this earthly body by trusting in the Son of God." So how do we change from a fan to a follower? We follow Jesus by trusting him every single day, in our actions, our relationships, in every area of our life, even when we don't understand. Have you placed your trust in Jesus today? Maybe you've never put your trust in Jesus before. Maybe you're realizing that you sound a lot like a fan rather than a follower. If that's you, then you should come and follow Jesus. See how he laid down his life for you in love and give him your life as a response. You can adopt his identity and walk in the freedom he created for you to walk in. Now, as we get ready for small groups, think about how you may need to stop being a casual fan of Jesus and become a true follower. And in your small group, you can talk with your group leader about ways we can do this together and support each other. Remember, small groups with youth culture are a closed circle, and we won't use what you say against you, so don't be afraid to open up. Now let's see what God has in store for us in our conversations tonight.